check this out, guys. You gotta see this. It's absolutely beautiful right now. This is like peak fall, almost winter weather. Little turbo action. I'll tell you right now, this is America. This is beautiful. Turbos, beautiful weather, some freedom mixed in there. Yeah, this is sick. I'm just happy to be alive. The AFR is reading normal, so that's a good thing. It's been a constant battle with this truck since I got it. I mean, well, the 4.8 was pretty good. That was a pretty easy configuration to do. 4.8 turbo 400, but this setup is a little bit different. I'm not really used to anything like this. You got a lot more components than you normally would. I've been having some help from my buddies. A lot of them are into the turbo stuff. This is the first for me, so that's why you're seeing a lot of highs, a lot of lows, things failing, things not working out. So far, our AFR reading is legit like it should be. So I'm hoping that's fixed. You know, this used to be such a beautiful area. It's all farmland and stuff. And then they had to put these stupid windmills. I hate this so much. I don't know how you guys feel about this stuff. I'm not getting into it, but I just want to say, I hate these things. It was gorgeous before. This one's not even working. That thing's just hanging on for dear life. Doesn't even know what it's doing. I'm not a fan. The truck actually drove pretty decent. I can honestly say I'm pretty impressed. The AFR issue is fixed. I have a few different O2 sensors, and this shorter one right here, that is the newest one I bought. That's actually for a diesel. They say it's a little bit better. As far as the way everything's placed, they're actually meant to handle soot and stuff. This is for more of a gas truck, and this is for a diesel, but they do work on the gas engines. A lot of people say they prefer that because they don't get clogged up as much, and they're actually made for soot. So all the black and stuff when they're running rich, not really going to affect it much. I have some friends that have been helping me on this, and he told me to check for a firmware update. I don't think I had an update, but what I did was remove the firmware and reinstall it, and miraculously it fixed it. When I'm driving, AFR is perfectly fine. When I'm not, it's just sitting at idle. It does kind of get sporadic. I think that's just because we have a very small exhaust. Could be air coming right in. Running, you know, it's just a little bit of everything. A little bit of air, a little bit of fuel. It's sucking air from the outside. So it, kind of gets a little messy, but it works. When I'm driving, it's smooth as butter. Really, right now, that's pretty much gonna be it for this one. This truck, the only thing that's left is we gotta hook up these MAC valves. I gotta figure out on the Holly system what wires we're gonna set for that. Hook those up. I need to get a switch and a relay so I can manually put on the tank in the back here. Instead of running like a CO2 style setup, we're gonna be running an air tank. That's gonna come on when we need air. That's gonna put our pressure to the MAC valves, and then those will add and take away PSI. Whatever the computer is set, the MAC valves will work together. It'll put the pressure on the wastegates to hold them closed. We're in the garage right now. It's like 28 degrees. It's pretty damn cold out. I ran out of propane, so we don't have heat. Main thing I want to talk about, I want to wrap this video up. I was going to add in some video of driving the truck and stuff like that. Long story short, I went and I hit a car show. It's going to be like the last of the year type thing. And, you know, had the truck ready. It was running. You guys saw it. Running, driving great. Everything was a blast. I went, I changed the gasket on the Turbo 400 because it was kind of leaking all over the floor. You can kind of see some over there. It's still leaking. So that is going to be due to something else, whether it's the shifter shaft seal or maybe the little modulator valve. It's just got a, you know, it's just got a plug in there because this is a manual valve body, so it doesn't shift off a vacuum like it normally would. So maybe it's leaking out of there. I got to jack it up. We got to take a look. And this thing's kind of a pain to put on jack stands. It's cold, and right now I'm sick, so I'm not into it. I'm not doing it. But take a look right here. This is a fuel cell. Okay. Long story short, the S10 that I bought before, the black one, the truck that I wanted to get ready in a few days, or a few weeks rather, not a few days. So get that truck all up and running. Cool, no problem. This tank was in it. Everything was fine. I start taking that truck apart because I wanted to sell it. I didn't want it. I didn't really like it. I don't like that body style of S10. So I wanted to just keep the parts from it. I start stripping it, take my motor, everything out. This had a 15-gallon plastic fuel cell in it, but I didn't like it. So I'm like, oh, got a nice aluminum one right here. Let's just swap them. So that's what I did. I'm driving the truck, get to the car show, awesome. Meet some friends there, had some friends following me. It was actually a pretty good day. It was cold, but it was good. One of my other buddies that comes by, he hasn't seen the truck yet, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll fire it up, sounds pretty good. Starter, acting up. I'm like, all right, here we go. Is it gonna be like this? My other buddy's under there, hammering on the starter. Finally, we get the thing running. I'm like, all right, guys, I've been here 2 hours. I'm leaving. I'm not doing this. I'm not dealing with this because if no one's around when I need someone to hit the starter or whatever, you know what I mean? We're done. We're leaving. So I take the truck. I head home. I back it into the garage. I'm like, what's that smell? I kind of smell some fuel. Yeah, I smelled fuel all right. This ended up being a Speedmaster fuel cell, and I have heard some things about them being knockoffs and stuff. I know Jegs had a problem. Summit had a problem with them because their valve bodies were... They stole someone else's valve body, and they put their name on it and stuff like that. Anyways, it was this whole big thing. But I've never ran their products, so I didn't know. And it came with the other truck. The thing had 50 miles on it. He put everything together. He put that other truck together with this 408 stroker right here, put 50 miles on it, wiped out the cam, truck sat. So this was basically brand new. The way that I mounted it was the same way it was in the other truck. And I thought it was perfectly fine. Just some metal bent up into like a little bit of C-channel. These things move and flex back and forth. I didn't see the need for a bushing. So technically, people are like mad at me because, oh, you hard mounted it and this and that. This flexes back and forth. In my opinion, it's fine. But, you know, you're not going to win that. So, my other buddy, his is solid mounted and he's running in the low 8s. Same setup. Take that however you want it. Either way, I mean, it's the internet, so I'm never going to be right anyways. But that's okay. So everyone's got their own way. You can see right here, this whole area split. It's about a 3 or 4 inch split. This is where we ran into our problem. Fuel ends up going all over the place, up the bed. It's a good thing my exhaust is routed out the fender because all that would have dripped right on the exhaust, and chances are that would have went up and had a trail going straight to the fuel cell. Some people in my reel were like, oh my God, you're bashing Speedmaster and this and that. And well, I mean, yes and no. Did I buy the product new? No. Do I know the history on it? And it really does have, he put 50 miles on it, and then I haven't even driven this truck 200 miles. So this thing's basically brand new. I know he bought it like a year and a half ago. So take that however you want. I just personally think that their product should have lasted a lot longer than that. A fuel cell splitting where the plates would be welded together seems like a bad weld to me. Seems like the quality was not as good as people think. So I'm not sitting here ranting and raving and bashing them and like, oh my God, don't buy their products. No, I'm not saying that. As I have explained to everybody else, I show the good, the bad, the ugly. That is the bad, and it's pretty damn ugly that happened. If I make mistakes, I show them. If there's a product that, in my opinion, messes up, which people are going to say it's because of the way I mounted it. Either way, take it however you want. If something like this happens, I'm going to show it because that's the truth. That's what happens. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm just showing things as they unfold. But with that being said, the truck's down. Tranny's leaking still. Fuel cell's split. It's cold out. They're starting to put salt. Either we're going to weld up that fuel cell, buy another, and then jack this thing up, figure out the tranny issue. That's all going to happen. But right now, I've been acquiring parts for my next project because I thought this was good. So we're gonna put this on hold for a few weeks, and especially we got the holidays and everything coming. I can't really juggle everything at once. This is the 6-liter LQ9 that came with the S10 because the 408 stroker was bad. We're running the F-body accessories on the front of it, and I took the liberty of ordering a carbureted intake because I think a lot of people want to see that. I'm going to be running the MSD 6014 box. This thing's actually pretty cool. I didn't really know much about it until I started doing some research. Pretty cool product, and I'm very excited to use this MSD box. I know MSD has always made great products, and I'm sure this is going to be just as good as everything else. I've used a few of the 6011 boxes and stuff like that. I had one in the Camaro and a few other things like that. We're going to be running our S10 oil pan that's already on here. I already have motor mounts and everything. The only difference is we're going to be running the Turbo 400 that was originally in the S10. The person I sold the S10 to, he's going to be running the same exact combo, so I'm trying to get a little grudge race together between my dad and my buddy's dad. We'll see what happens. I don't know if he's going to be up for it. I think it would be pretty good, and you know that Camaro's going to wipe the floor with it, but, you know, just kidding. Nobody really knows. So that's it, guys. I want to leave you with that. Here's our 79 Z28. That's what all that's going to be going into. This is the 4th motor that this car is going to be getting. This car is super clean. I've had this thing, oh man, I don't even know. Originally, this car was from the Bronx. And it's seen some stuff. Someone put some big speakers in the back and all that stuff, but, you know. As far as being clean, this car is very nice. I have Dynamat. We're gonna go through and do all that. I'm gonna have to fix that hole right there. That was from a Hurst V-Gate inline shifter. That was like 20-year-old me. I'm like, yeah, we'll just slam that shifter in, no problem. And here I am, gonna be 29, and the hole is still there. So we're gonna tackle that, do some wiring, maybe put heat in it. I really don't know. I have everything to do it. But all that's gonna be for the next video. It's freezing cold, I'm sick, and I'm really not feeling it right now. I'm gonna wrap this one up, guys. I just wanna say thank you to everybody that's been supporting the channel, because I don't know what's going on. If it's the shorts, you got people out there liking, commenting, sharing the videos. There's a ton of new subscribers. We hit 6,200 subscribers. That's ridiculous. I'm so happy. Like that, to me, that might as well be like a million. I'm just very thrilled that people are liking all the videos and stuff like that. So I just want to personally say thank you guys for all the love and support, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok and Instagram are picking up pretty good too. So I just want to say thank you guys. I hope you like what we have going on here. Like I said, I'm just one guy in the garage. I work as much as I can. I put my money aside. I try and get all these projects done, and I try to make videos with them. This is as real as it gets. This is real world stuff. Everything goes bad. We're all gonna make mistakes, and I show it all. The good, the bad, because we're all human. At the end of the day, no one's perfect. I see videos out there, everything's flawless and went beautiful and this and that. We all know it didn't. But everyone's got their own style. This is my style. I hope you guys like the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.